In the previous video, I talked about some steps you should take right after installing Windows. For this series of videos, I'm using Windows 11, which at the time of recording is the latest operating system from Microsoft. In future versions of Windows, more tasks will likely be automated, so some of these tips may become obsolete and no longer practical. You might even find that some settings change or certain software is no longer available for download. So my focus in this video is mainly on software you may need daily or frequently. Let's not forget that we are in the midst of a revolution in computer science, that is artificial intelligence. I predict that many tasks will eventually be taken over by AI, which subsequently cause tendency for spreading and increasing laziness. One of its worst scenarios can be we eventually lose our ability to talk. Some of us are already gradually losing our writing skill or finding it difficult to write on paper. By the way, let's not start the video by talking about the dark side of the future. So just continue with the steps. I really hope my predictions be wrong and the future be brighter than now.
I see. I know, honey, I know. I'm good. I am good. You look gorgeous.
Copy. Protocol. First things first. Computer, status report.
In recent versions of Windows, checking for updates not only installs new features and security fixes, but also updates device drivers and antivirus signatures. It's recommended to do this at least once a month if you have disabled automatic updates and prefer manual updates. I highly recommend manually checking for updates rather than relying on default settings, which is set to check automatically. This is because I've experienced some issues, especially on older systems, like during restarting the system and driver conflicts. To check for updates manually, select Start and type Windows Update Settings. In the Pause Updates section, select the time interval based on your needs. You can pause updates for a maximum of 5 weeks, so it's not a permanent pause. In a future YouTube video, I'll explain how to pause updates permanently. The purpose of manually controlling these settings is to ensure that updates, downloads, installations, and restarts do not interfere with your daily usage flow of the PC. However, these problems are nearly solved on newer operating systems. Please note that if you're connected to a Metered network, you might be concerned about monthly internet charge. To avoid it, disable or postpone regular updates for Windows and software. And you can also update your laptop only when you're at home and connected to your ADSL internet. Additionally, some service providers offer cheaper package at a specific time of the day, usually from late night to morning. So it's better to schedule your downloads for that time. For more control over your Windows driver and antivirus updates, you can also check the Microsoft Update Catalog website. This is especially useful if you are an IT administrator looking for a specific hotfix or driver update, particularly for an older system. The site provides a search box to help you find exactly what you're looking for, just to make sure you know the exact model of your operating system, and the information I provided at the beginning of this video will be needed to choose the correct update for your system. When you use Windows automatic updates, it will also try to check for antivirus signature updates. By the way, you can also check it manually. Type Windows Security in Start. Scroll down and find Virus and Threat Protection Updates. Then click on Protection Updates and then check for updates. So we've installed Windows and the necessary drivers and applied some initial settings. The next step is something almost all of us will do, even if it's not explicitly mentioned here: connecting and syncing your Windows system with top website services and social media accounts. Google is a prime example, especially because many websites allow us to sign up using our Google account, bypassing the usual registration steps. Here are some services you probably use: Google, Microsoft, Facebook, X, which is formerly known as Twitter, Telegram, SoundCloud, Spotify, LinkedIn, Cash App, crypto wallets and websites, and other websites you access through your desktop system.
Are you up for a joyride later?
Where do you want to take me?
Guess.
However, as I mentioned in part 1 of this video series, I highly recommend not saving passwords and user account information when your browser prompts you to do so. Instead, use a text editor to store and update them locally. This is not just a suggestion, it's an absolute recommendation. You certainly don't want to forget your registration info, especially for your Google account, which is likely used for recovering other accounts. For added security, you can avoid storing your account info on your PC entirely. Rather, use a USB storage device and keep it in a safe place.
This guy is out of $225 million because he can't remember his password.
I tried a couple different passwords, but yeah, none of them worked.
Stefan Thomas invested in the digital currency Bitcoin back in 2011 when it sold for just $2. Today, it sells for $35,000 per Bitcoin. Here's the problem. 10 years ago when he bought Bitcoins, he threw out the password.
I vaguely remember writing the password down, putting it somewhere safe. When I needed it, I was desperately searching for that everywhere. And I couldn't find it.
Now Thomas finds himself the subject of worldwide fascination. Bitcoin is a super secure system. You get 10 shots at entering the correct password. After that, the account automatically locks up. So far, Thomas has tried 8 times at guessing his password. That means he has 2 more shots. After that, his $225 million fortune will be gone forever.
Unfortunately, I think the chances of me just remembering the password are unfortunately very slim.
Fox Business reporter Jackie DeAngelis has basic but important advice for anyone.
Some people choose to write them down, or whatever you choose to do, make sure that you can access it and that you don't lose accessibility to these very, very important passwords.
Advice that comes too late for Stefan Thomas as $225 million blows away in the digital wind.
Recently, some websites have started providing passkeys. With passkeys, you can now use your fingerprints, face, or screen lock to verify your identity. Only create a passkey if the device you're setting it up on is your personal device. This way, you won't need passwords or PIN codes, which are so easy to forget. This step is pretty optional, but I recommend it. There are many reasons to have more than one browser installed on your system, which being a web developer is definitely one of them. Here are some more benefits. Unique features. Take advantage of the unique features each browser offers. Personal preferences. Manage multiple social media accounts at once. You can have multiple accounts signed in on different browsers. Reduce exposure to tracking. Just like how thieves try to evade the police by splitting up, using multiple browsers can reduce tracking exposure. Don't worry, this video doesn't try to teach illegal education. But
chimpanzees, 5 males. In silence, they move on the forest floor, listening for their prey. This is what they're after. Colobus monkeys, feeding in the canopy, 30 meters up. To catch them, these chimps have learned to hunt in the most extraordinary way. Stealthily, the chimps take up position underneath their quarry. Colobus are light and agile, so they can move in the thinnest of branches. The heavy chimp hasn't a hope alone. But this is a team, and each has learnt his own specific role. The driver, the blockers, and the most experienced hunter, the ambusher. Working together, they have a chance. The driver makes the first move. A young chimp, quite new to hunting. His objective is simple, to climb up beneath the monkeys and flush them out. The team watches from below, poised for action. The hunt is on. The chimps on the ground immediately run ahead of the colobus. The blockers are first in place. They anticipate where the colobus are heading and climb trees on either side. Older, more experienced than the driver, they must make themselves conspicuous, ready to funnel the colobus between them. Meanwhile, back on the ground, the smartest chimp, the ambusher, is on the move. His objective, to get even further ahead. He has seen the blockers go up and works out where the colobus will be funneled. He picks a strategic tree. He hides and waits. The trap is now set. The driver pushes the colobus on. They begin to scatter, but 3 seem to be heading straight into the trap. A gap in the canopy. The colobus are now getting away. The heavy blockers can't leap across. They must climb down in a last effort to reform the trap. And back up again. Now the blockers are back on course. Another leap, right into the ambusher's tree. The trap is sprung. The ambusher grabs. He misses. The colobus turns. Straight into the hands of a blocker. It's over. For the chimps, this is the triumph of generations of learning. But you can't learn to hunt if it's not in your nature. For all predators, the story starts with the same basic thing. Instinct. Killer instinct.
Data management. Multiple browsers allow for easier info deletion. Increased productivity. If you are managing multiple social media accounts at once, especially on multiple monitors, having multiple browsers can help you be more productive by monitoring all activities simultaneously, all at once, without needing to switch between accounts, which is so annoying and time-consuming. Additionally, having multiple browsers is good for troubleshooting and web development. If you're experiencing internet issues, you can use an alternate browser to determine if the problem is specific to one browser or a more general issue with Windows. As a developer, you can also check the compatibility and consistency of your website element across different browsers. In general, it's a mindset and methodology of not putting all your eggs in one basket. This strategy applies not only to browsers, but to many aspects of planning and businesses. So always try to have multiple plans in case one of the plans failed, like plan B, plan C, and so on. I will also show you some browser extensions that might be handy while you're browsing the web. These extensions can make your online life easier and help you complete tasks more efficiently. Just like plugins and add-ons used in software to increase their functionalities, browsers also have the same ability by adding extensions. These extensions mostly fall into one of the following categories: accessibility, blogging, communication, developer tools, entertainment, news and weather, photos, productivity, search tools, shopping, and social. As an example, I suggest reloaders. Let's say you are a web developer and you don't want to click on refresh button each time you update or save your code. So reloader extensions can do that task for you automatically in constant intervals. In some reloaders, you can also set to update only when the content of the page changes. That was the end of this video. Stay tuned for the part 3.
How much do you think this advanced operating environment is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as Windows integrates Lotus 123 with Miami Vice. Now we can take this Ferrari and paste it right into Windows Right. Now how much do you think Microsoft Windows is worth? Don't answer. Wait until you see Windows Right and Windows Paint and to listen to what else you get at no extra charge. The MS-DOS Executive, an appointment calendar, a card file, a notepad, a clock, a control panel, a terminal, a print spool, a RAM driver, and can you believe it? Reversi. That's right. All these features in Reversi, all for just, how much did you guess? 500? 1,000? Even more? No, it's just $99. That's right. It's $99. It's an incredible value, but it's true. It's Windows from Microsoft. Order today. P.O. Box 286 DOS, except in Nebraska.